I've been in my top one trader challenge and I want to be honest about where I am with it right now. The beginning was humbling. I was taking trades that technically had a good setup, but not my setup, not A plus setups. And honestly, I began to pay for it. So I made one decision that changed how I would move through the rest of this challenge. I stopped taking every trade that looked sexy on the outside and started taking trades that I could not argue with. Let me show you what that means and exactly where I am right now. I'm currently in a small account funded challenge with Top One Trader, and honestly, I'm in this stage where I am recovering from a loss. I started off pretty ugly and I am just now getting in good standing, like as of today. So for those of you that don't know my account, I have a $5,000 account. Being that I am coming back from like a little mini hiatus from trading, I decided to get back into a small account just to get my feet wet and just get renewed on my edge. So it's a $5,000 account and the goal, it's two-step. And the first phase 500 and the second I think it's like $200 maybe, or 300. Nothing major at all. But like I said, I started off trading NAS 100, and at that time it's probably been like a month. I think I got it in May, and the Nasdaq was at an all-time high, and for starters I had a hard time trading the all-time high. The second thing was me trying to adapt to it, and the third thing was me realizing, because I came back from futures back into forex, the choppiness was just really throwing me off, and it was really frustrating. When you get a taste of what the futures market looks like and you come back to Forex market, trading NAS 100, for example, it is excruciating watching this, okay? This has been the movement for me since I have gotten back in this challenge. So I realized that if I'm going to come back to Forex, I might as well go all the way back and humble myself and just get back jiggy with a simple old currency pair. That switch is just a conversation for another day. So because I did have early drawdown, and if it's one thing I can say is that anyone who has been in challenges know that when you start off your challenge with a loss, even if it's within risk, it just sends a signal like, oh, this is not going to be good. I don't know about you, but that was something that went through me, especially after like the third loss that I took. Now, I do want to throw out there that I wasn't even taking a lot of trades. That is the crazy part about this. Like I wasn't even taking a lot of trades. But it was enough for me to almost get close to even breaching the account, at least too close for my taste. So once I did finally restructure my thinking and did some analyzing over my recent trades, I finally had a win that just was beginning to dig me out of the hole, and it gave me so much more hope. And not only did it give me hope, but it just gave me a reminder that my edge is my edge and it's worked 1,000 times before, and it kept me consistent before. Nothing changed now. So it ended up proving to me that my system still works, but I just need to follow it and get really strict with myself. The main thing that changed everything for me in this challenge was realizing what defines an A plus setup. I'm going to tell you my definition of an A plus setup. It's simply when you are sticking to your rules. If you have 6 confluences or 6 confirmations, in other words, let that be your 6 and stick to it. But as for me, I only go by 3. So if I'm looking at the markets and I see 2 out of the 3 have been filled, I should not be getting in. That automatically takes an A plus setup to like a B. And being that I only have 3, I'm really strict on myself. I take it from A to C and C to F. So if I realize that only 2 is marked and I'm not feeling right, we're not getting into that trade. My 3 mandatory rules, starting with number 1, I use the fib tool and it has to pass through my golden zone. The second thing, I need to see candle closure. I have to see candle closure. And the third thing, it cannot be the opposite of the higher time frame trend. So if the higher time frame is in the uptrend, that means my entry needs to match that and nothing else. Not a reversal, not a flip-flop, whatever. It has to match that higher time frame. And if it doesn't, I'm just not taking the trade. I know I have some snippets. Here I'm going to show you guys just an example of what my A+ setups look like. But for me, the psychology behind it matters as well, because I could have all three, but if there's something in me, I sometimes have to chin check and make sure that I am not getting in my own way before getting into these trades. And what I mean by that is I could have all three and sometimes still hesitate because something doesn't feel right. Well, if something doesn't feel right, I go back and re-examine again. I double check, well, was there news? Is there something that I could have possibly missed? And if the answer is no, then I know I'm getting in my own way and I jump. And it has not steered me wrong yet. If all three are there, if my rules are there, that is an A+ highest quality setup. I'm in. With the beginning of this challenge starting off not so good, I realized that the setups, when it comes to the quality of the setups that I did take, going back in my journal, they were not the highest quality. Now, I am not saying that every single trade that you take, you will win. You're going to pay the market tuition. That's normal. We know that. That's why we're in this, right? But at the end of the day, we can go back and analyze what it is that we did wrong. And I will say that they just weren't quality trades. I wasn't sure, was getting a little impulsive. I just came back from a little hiatus. So just getting back into the market and seeing the NASDAQ was at this all-time high. It was just, I wouldn't say a wrong time to get in, but I had to immediately adapt to how my entries affect the market. When it comes to taking these high quality setups, another thing that comes with it is patience. If you want to be a professional trader and take high quality setups, patience is not just something you get to choose to have some days and some days not. Like, you have to have it. What this looks like for me is I already do not believe in trading every day. As a stay-at-home mom that still remains present in my home, in my marriage, doing ministry in my church, like, I'm not staring at the charts all day, and it's not on my agenda to hop in every single session. But I will say, when you focus on those high quality setups and you really hone in on it, you only need 1 to 2 good trades a week. And I know that's crazy for me to say, even though I have this small account, but to me, this account, I'm practicing this as if this is like a 100K, 200K account, because how I am with this little is how I will be with much. And if I can't have that mindset now, I know I will not be able to sustain where God is calling me and what my desire is to have and be able to steward. For example, last week, it was not a good, I think it was last week, it was not a good trading week. Like, I had a setup and I did the analysis and I had a setup. Last week, guys, I did not trade. I did not trade at all because it did not hit my entry. It was a ranging market. Not only was it not ranging, but it just didn't trigger where I needed it to go. So guess what? I had to sit on my hands. And yeah, I had a moment where I was thinking to myself, like, I should be trading this week. But the moment I have that, I rebuke that thought. And I had to tell myself, this is the market. It moves 24/7, 365, okay? You are not going to miss any opportunity. Quality setups. I have to remind myself, being a trader that trades only high quality setups means that I will not see an opportunity every day. And that's okay. Being patient and having those days where I have decided to sit on my hands and not force entries in the market has also allowed me to protect my capital. It's allowed me to protect my account. As of right now, this is where I currently am. Like I said, I'm out of this hole and we back. Okay. I feel like I'm back. I had a goal to get out of this hole when I was discouraged, and I'm finally out. The main thing that I'm focusing on the remainder of this challenge, let alone the next set of trades that I take, is high quality setups. High quality setups. I have to emphasize that because anything below what my rules are is just unacceptable and not professional. If you're in a challenge right now or you plan on getting in one, I hope this has helped you see that the setup quality matters way more than the numbers. And in the next video, we will see if this held, which I know it will. See you in the next video.